And now you have our prime minister that is using virtue signaling in order to really fucking piss off Donald Trump by saying that he's going to recognize Palestine as a state at the UN in September.
The level of human suffering in Gaza is intolerable. Canada has long been committed to a two-state solution. An independent, viable, and sovereign Palestinian state living side by side with the state of Israel in peace and security. For decades, it was hoped that this outcome would be achieved as part of a peace process built around a negotiated settlement between the Israeli government and the Palestinian Authority. Regrettably, this approach is no longer tenable. Canada intends to recognize the state of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025. This intention is predicated on the Palestinian Authority's commitment to much-needed reforms, including commitment by the Palestinian Authority's President Abbas to fundamentally reform its governance, to hold general elections in 2026 in which Hamas can play no part, and to demilitarize the Palestinian state.
Does he think Hamas is going to give up power?
And increase its efforts.
They said so, right?
Democratic government in Palestine and the contributions of its people to a more peaceful and hopeful future.
Wow, man.
Look, and right away, before you go, I'm just going to present one more thing. It's going to take 2 seconds. It's going to just wrap everything together. But as soon as Carney made that remark yesterday, we saw a post from the throne. And by throne, I mean the toilet of Donald Trump. Yeah. He was probably sitting, taking a dump, and he just tweeted, wow, Canada has just announced that it is backing statehood for Palestine. That will make it very hard for us to make a trade deal with them. Oh, Canada. Why the fuck could that not wait 24 hours?
That's my point. That's my point.
However you feel about this, let's say that you agree. Let's say that you agree. I don't, but let's say 24 hours. But no,
a massive unforced error. That's what, when we decided to talk about this, I think was even really going to be on the Palestine-Israel, like whether I agree with the decision. Because like you said, even if you think that's the right decision, and sure. I don't think I don't, because again, this is just such a complex issue. I almost washed my hands of it. But if I had to pick a solution, I think the two-state solution was the best of a lot of bad options. It has been what is official policy for all of the West for a very long time. But regardless of any of that, even if it's the right call, fucking wait 24 hours until after the deal is done. Why? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Like, how does this further Canada's interests? Stop being worried about, fucking towing the line or making sure virtue signaling to left-wing, causes. And, there's a lot to say, I think, about the actual decision in and of itself. People have said it rewards the terrorism, because even in Carney's tweet, I think the actual video, I think it cut out this part, but where he says his reasons for it. I'll show you here.
Let me just remove that.
Yeah, it's a little small, but he says, regrettably, because he's talking about how he used to support a two-state solution. He says, regrettably, this approach is no longer tenable. Prospects for a two-state solution have been steadily and gravely eroded, including by the first point, the pervasive threat of Hamas terrorism and its people, culminating in the heinous terrorist attacks of October 7th. So he's saying, okay, look, the two-state solution's not going to work, and we're going to reward Palestine because of the terrorist attacks that Hamas has committed. You're essentially rewarding terrorism. So, I mean, that argument to me holds a lot of water. But overall, my official take is really it's nothing to do with whether that was the right call or not. It's why the fuck couldn't you wait 24 hours?
48 hours. It's in September. You're looking at least a month and a half, maybe 2 months from now. Why the fuck did you need to talk about it right now to make sure to piss off Trump? Again, everything that man does is done on purpose. I'm telling you, that guy is not. Do not underestimate Mark Carney. He is a Marxist. He is a smart one, and everything that he does is purposeful. He knows what he's doing. No, if you understand that he's not stupid, that means he's doing this on purpose. That means what's his goal? Finish what Trudeau started. And every move that he makes, it seems to me that he's just trying to piss off Trump so that he can blame victimhood. He's going to claim victimhood. Like tomorrow morning, look at this. Oh, we weren't able to make a deal because,
because maybe that's why. I don't know. That's stupid then. Like, but, and people could say, oh, well, it's Trump's fault. Why would he let this
you shouldn't let that insult him. Yeah,
but
that's
look,
who he is.
That's who he is. That's his personality. He's petty as fuck. He's vindictive. We can sit here and complain all we want, but that's like sitting out in the rain, complaining about the rain, complaining that the wind is blowing. Wind blows, rain rains. That's what they do. Donald Trump is petty and vindictive. That's what he does. We don't get to pick the U.S. president. All we get to do is play the cards that were dealt, and Carney is playing them terribly.
Again, this is where we disagree. It's all on purpose. He knows exactly what he's doing because it's serving his purpose.
Well, exactly. Walken
agree.
agrees with you. He says he's doing it on purpose, boys. I mean, look, 100%. I still just can't wrap my mind around that our leader would be doing this intentionally, but I also am not blind, and I'm looking at these things. I'm thinking, it's getting harder and harder to hold on to that position. And also, Walken, I'd seen that you had mentioned just briefly up there, and I'll get to Straight Canadian's comment. You asked about the hat, where I got it. I got it on Amazon. Just type in like military khaki hat. I also got a green one. They're like $10.
Just had homosexual in front of it, and it'll make it easier to find.
Homosexual military khaki hat.
It's your face. You're the model for that brand too. Hey. Oh, shit. I just realized I'm wearing actually a green military shirt. Oh,
you're up there too. You're a model too.
I'm the model for the t-shirts. You're the model for the hats.
His allegiance is sworn to the king, not
I
kings.
agree. And I agree with that.
I'm still not there yet, guys, but every day it seems like I'm getting dragged, kicking and screaming closer to that position.
Just so you guys understand, for the new people here that don't know this story, Rob and I have been recording this for almost 5 months, 2 hours a day. And I've been a conservative the whole time. I've been a conservative forever. Rob is a liberal. But you know the joke. What do you call a common sense liberal? A conservative. But Rob, every day, every week, he seems that he's getting closer and closer and closer in the conservative mindset. But he just cannot bring himself to call himself a conservative. You'll see if you stick around. It's fucking hilarious. We laugh at it every day, almost, and it's just the truth. It's just the truth.
No.
He does not want to be a conservative, but he sounds like one.
You guys can drag me over kicking and screaming. I agree in this.
We have cookies. We've been through this before. We have cookies.
One of us.
And our women are hot and they're not crazy. Well, not as crazy. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Not as crazy. They don't have purple hair. They don't look like butchers. Just saying.
That I do agree with you that in this moment, a common sense liberal does sound like a conservative. I just don't think it has to be that way. I think society needs a common sense political faction that wants to keep the status quo and stands for order and stability, and then a common sense political faction that wants to try to progress things. And then if they have dialogue, they can probably, like good faith dialogue, they can get to probably the sweet spot. And that's essentially what this show is supposed to be about. It's supposed to model. But yeah, it does feel like sometimes I'm getting dragged kicking and screaming over to the right, but I'll fight it. I'll fight it,
bro.
every day.
As always, Sylvie brings it to the next level by saying that Rob is sort of a gay conservative. He'll cross the line enough.
Where's this even come from, bro? My body count is out of this world, man. It's
Sylvie. It is true. I think what Sylvie means is that Rob is a closet conservative. It's just a matter of time before he comes out.
Oh,
hey.
So deep in the closet, he's finding Christmas presents,
or he's sucking dicks. Whatever.
Yeah, one of the two.
Misfits. But hold on,
Misfit. Yeah.
Motherfucker,
Must have
bro.
let
It's been
that-
a while.
Yeah,
What's going
welcome
on, man?
back, sir. Our newest member, our newest orphan.
Our newest remember
Yeah.
newest.
Yes,
Hey
sir.
guys, by the way, if you're on X, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to reshare the stream. But the conversation, as you see, is happening on YouTube. So make sure to join us. Leave X for 2 hours a day, just 2 hours. Come to YouTube, join the conversation. Once you're there, make sure to like. So everybody that's on YouTube right now, like. And if you don't like us, dislike it. I'm okay with that. I want to know that you don't like us. Doesn't matter. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Actually, you know what? No, you're going to hurt my feelings. You're really, really going to hurt my feelings if you click on dislike. So make sure to click on dislike. But the point is, if you're on YouTube, like, comment. And if you believe in independent media, if you believe that the left and the right should be able to speak, disagree, agree, but do it in a way where we can drive a conversation that is civil discourse, then encourage us. $2.99 a month is our subscription. And as you see, Misfit, he rejoined the shit. What's the term I want? The sect.
Yeah, the cult.
One of us.
Yeah, he's one of us.
One
Yeah,
of
our
us.
newest orphan.
Before we take some comments, though, it's interesting because there's somebody in there that mentioned, have you guys seen the video of the guy in Gaza or Israel and he's showing all the food in the UN that's just standing there? Yes, I did. I shared it this morning and I have it queued up. You're reading my fucking mind.
Sweet,
This is
sweet.
how awesome our listeners
audience
are. Our
is.
commenters are on the fucking ball. But this is the video he's referring to. I don't know if you saw it. I reposted it this morning and very fucking interesting. Listen to this.
This is a monument to the catastrophic failure of the United Nations to deliver aid into Gaza. Hundreds upon hundreds of pallets of aid just rotting in the sun instead of being delivered to the people who need it. The UN prefers blaming Israel, bitching about Israel. The reality, incompetence. And it's blaming Israel to cover up for that criminal negligence. The UN should do its job. Get the food to the people who need it, make sure that Hamas cannot steal it, and then pressure Hamas to accept a ceasefire that will release the hostages who are being starved inside the dungeons of Gaza, relinquish power, and let everyone put this horrible war that Hamas started behind us.
Now, I'm not sharing this because I believe that he's right. I'm not sharing this because I don't believe that he's right. I'm sharing this because the guy is supposedly underground. He is in Kerem Shalom crossing in the Gaza Strip, pointing out that this is UN food that is just sitting there rotting in the sun. The only reason I shared this on my social this morning, and I'm showing it to you guys right now, is to show something that goes against what mainstream media is telling us. This is all I'm doing. I'm not saying that he's right. I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm just presenting a piece of information that is currently going viral right now. And can you imagine if that's true? That's all I'm doing. Imagine that this is true. Imagine that the narrative that we're being pushed by mainstream media is wrong, which obviously it wouldn't be the first fucking time. But all I'm saying, I'm presenting a different side of the argument. And can you imagine if that's the case? I'm just proposing the idea that maybe the UN is indeed sitting on all that food, and instead of putting it in the mouth of Palestinians, they're sitting on it to make Israel look bad. Because that's what the guy is basically claiming. Is it true? Is it not? You'll have to make up your mind. I just want to arouse your curiosity. Looking at what the UN does, looking at the fact that, guys, maybe you don't know this, but you know that Mark Carney was the special envoy to climate change of the United Nations. So he has strong connections to the UN. He just talked about backing Palestine as a state. So you're starting to see that there are connections there. Am I saying that that's what's going on? Maybe, but I do have a tinfoil hat over there for a reason. I am a conspiracy theorist at heart. Yep. I'm just pointing. I'm not going to get the board out and start crisscrossing all the images with lines and red strings and shit, but I'm just saying, is it that hard to believe that what that guy's saying is true, although mainstream media is telling us a completely different story?
Well, I mean, did you see the New York Times story the other day that they even retracted? It showed a picture of that like emaciated boy The story was that Israel was starving him. Turns out they actually the actual picture had his very healthy brother beside him that the New York Times cropped out.
Of course, yeah.
Because the kid, like, he was actually emaciated, but he's sick. He had some disease that he would have looked like that in Canada or any other country too. So it was completely misrepresented. And you know, it's bad when even the New York Times is going to retract it. But yeah, of course they did retract it. And then Antifa vandalized the New York Times head office. This only happened yesterday, but pretty typical. But yeah, it does seem like there's an agenda. And like you said, it is. I think you want to keep a skeptical eye on especially anything to do with Israel-Palestine on both sides, because there's definitely strong propaganda on both sides. It's hard to get to the kernel of the truth, but what he says there, do I believe it could be true? Absolutely, I do. You know, that clearly is a lot of aid behind him. That's real. That exists. So that gives him some credibility. Why is that not in there? Is the argument that Israel's not allowing it? I don't think that's true.
This is the question, right? And again, I always look at both sides of the argument, no matter if I agree or disagree with it.
Mhm.
Right now, do I believe that this is true? It wouldn't surprise me, but I have no proof. I'm not on the ground. I'm not over there. That's why, you know, that is also why I don't want to get involved in that conflict whatsoever. I talk about it because it's trending right now, and I don't understand why Carney had to say something that stupid
That's the takeaway.
on the day 24 hours before the fucking deadline, fully knowing that would piss off Trump because he's a massive Israel supporter. Let's call a spade here.
Yep.
Why the fuck did he talk about it? This is my point. And then I saw that video. I think it's Moose on the Loose that was showing it this morning. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. And I shared it because I want to see what people think about it. I just want to open people's vision to what are the two sides of the argument. And normally the truth is somewhere in the middle. Normally.
And you know, there are definitely people who'll be like, oh, well, he just has to do what's right. He can't be worried about what Trump is going to do or say. And those people should be nowhere near government, because that's what fucking government is dealing with reality. You don't get to pick and choose. You know, yeah, okay, maybe it feels nice to virtue signal something, but if it fucks your country over, you don't do it.
That could have been easily avoided by shutting the fuck up for 24, 48 hours.
Literally.
Sign that deal, like put your name on that deal,
easy.
and then continue with your elbows up saying all the dumb shit you want, but you could have shut the fuck up for 24 to 48 hours.